Hello and welcome to Sideways. Well, the frost this morning certainly is deep and crisp and even though it is still a few days until Christmas. But Christmas is imminent, and this week we're talking about some of the things that cause many of us stress over the festive season, and especially people in recovery. Martin can't think of any Christmas films he likes. We have a disagreement over the anxiety caused by the giving and receiving of gifts. And Martin belatedly finds amusement in an unusual present I was once given by my great uncle. He also expresses gratitude for an astonishing aspect of wrapping paper. Anyway, we've certainly packed a lot in. Christmas stress. The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood. I started that too low. I couldn't get down that far.
You did, didn't you? Yeah, you ran out, didn't you?
I ran out of
range.
I did. I ran out of range.
Very festive, though, mate.
Have you ever run out of the range?
Yeah, with some stolen items under my arm.
I bought an ironing board from there once. It was absolutely terrible purchase.
Was it? Yeah. I don't want to slag the range off in case anyone from the range is listening, but yeah, some of the quality of the goods can be a little bit suspect.
Well, you just did slag them off after saying you weren't going to.
I know, yeah.
So, are you feeling festive?
Yeah, not really. Yeah, how about you?
Yeah, I'm getting into the spirit of it. Have you not roasted any chestnuts on an open fire yet?
No, mate, no, I haven't done anything like that. Although the Christmas songs have been playing on the radio and Christmas films are sort of all over the TV and stuff. So yeah, it gets hoisted upon you, doesn't it?
What's your favourite Christmas movie?
Love Actually.
Shut up! It can't be.
I don't really watch movies, do I, particularly? So I just had to. You caught me on the hop there.
Have you actually watched Love Actually?
Of course, yeah.
I only saw it for the first time the other day, and I mean, it's beyond cheesy, isn't it? It's unbelievably cheesy.
Oh yeah, but Christmas films generally are, aren't they? It's just
but that takes the biscuit, that one, doesn't it? What about Elf? You must like Elf, surely.
No, I haven't seen that. I haven't watched any. I don't watch films, as you know. I rarely watch films, and certainly not Christmas ones, because I find them mostly nauseating.
Oh, humbug. Anyway, why aren't there any new Christmas songs?
I don't know. I mean, I know that you sent me a question on that basis, which I think I answered fully, to be honest. So I don't know why you're bringing it up again.
Well, you went off on a bit of a tangent, didn't you? Really, giving me a load of old flannel about.
I know. Well, I did read your blog this week, which touched on it again, didn't it? So it's obviously something that's bothering you about why there aren't any new Christmas singles. I mean, do you want to unburden yourself?
Not really. I think I've hit upon the answer now. Actually, anyway, okay. I've sorted it out for myself. I couldn't understand why. When we were growing up in the 1970s, when we were listening to Slade and Wizard and stuff like that, those same songs that are still played through the supermarket hi-fi these days.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they were new Christmas songs in those days, but now they've endured all these years, like 40, 50 years. I don't understand why others haven't kind of jumped in the last kind of 20 years. But I've decided that the answer is that we listen to what our parents listen to, don't we? And it becomes kind of tradition. And so there has to be quite a kind of motivation, I suppose, to listen to something different or something new. And I think, as I said in my blog, carols are quite old, aren't they? We still listen to them.
They are, yeah. They've endured. They've stood the test of time. And some of those songs that do hit the mark, that become Christmas classics, will always be Christmas classics. I don't think that many are written, are they? That a lot of people have tried and have failed.
I wrote one once on a songwriting workshop. I went on a songwriting workshop. It was in July, and one of the tasks we were given was to write a Christmas song.
Okay. Did anyone come up with anything half decent?
Well, actually, I know, so I would say this, but I think the one I co-wrote with someone else, I think ours was quite good. The problem is, it didn't have any sleigh bells on it. And as we all know, if you put sleigh bells on anything, it sounds like a Christmas song, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, that's the bare minimum, really, isn't it?
I reckon if you put Sleigh Bells on Paranoid, it'd sound like a Christmas song.
Yeah, if it's just gently in the background, it would be fine. Yeah. The words are not particularly Christmassy, but I'm sure it would work, wouldn't it?
Well, it's fitting. It's fitting in with the way you view Christmas, because you're a bit of a curmudgeon, aren't you, when it comes to Christmas?
Well, I think Ozzy Osbourne should do one. He's the Prince of Darkness. It'd probably bring the right angle to Christmas, the one that I like.
I'm surprised. I was going to ask you if you've got a Christmas tree. Obviously, you haven't. But if you did have, you'd be putting it upside down, wouldn't you? Like an inverted cross.
Well, I just looked at. I was listening back to some of our previous episodes. Actually, the 2 previous Christmas ones that we've done, and I think it's surprising how things have changed over the years. But my attitude towards Christmas hasn't really. It seems.
No, that's true. Yeah, you do certainly bring everybody down.
Not intentionally. Yeah. Not intentionally, but I think perhaps my notes is just Christmas 2021. I listened back to our episode we did in Christmas from Christmas 2019 was at that point was just called Christmas, but it was only our 4th episode, so it was quite short and succinct, quite snappy, really.
Yeah, I mean, the other way you could look at that would be to say in those days we weren't taking up too much of people's time, were we?
No, we weren't. No. There's also no worries about COVID at that point either, which is
no, that's right. We didn't know what was to come, did we?
We didn't. No. I mean, the areas we covered, which I just wanted to touch on again because I wanted to sort of do some updates on it, really. But they're still they're enduring. They're like a good Christmas carol. Some of these things that we talked about then.
Yeah, I bet they are.
Yeah, one of them was like which still comes up in discussions in groups now. Is about the lapse rates tend to spike at this time of year.
Has that got worse since the pandemic, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's one of the factors that has created this sort of surreal environment. But what has come up subsequently since we did that recording, and when it's been mentioned in groups, is that it tends to be also. It's not just the extra layers of stress which are added on or added into the equation, which I'll come on to later, but often what has been a recurrent theme is about missing loved ones. That at Christmas it sort of heightens that. Which could be people that have passed away, or exes that you split up from that you suddenly sort of pine for or whatever. So it does create this an unreal situation like that, and us people in addiction know that our port of call at that point is their drug of choice. So yeah, I can understand why the lapse rate does increase quite significantly.
I suppose it's a time of year that is charged with a lot of emotional energy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
We do naturally think about family at Christmas, whether we think about it from a perspective of enjoyable memory or anything other. We are kind of drawn towards an area of our life, i.e. family, that does tend to be fairly heavy with emotion.
Yes, we do. And I think one of the other points that which we discussed way back when, a couple of years ago, was the normalisation of being around people that are drinking, which other people tend to join in the overindulgence, which as an active alcoholic I used to do every day of the year anyway. But at Christmas and New Year, it became I sort of felt like I fitted in more.
Yeah, you kind of give you. I think even if you don't have any sort of issues with drink at Christmas, I think a lot of people give themselves the excuse to drink at times they would never usually dream of drinking, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll have a ginger wine while I'm decorating the Christmas tree, maybe a small sherry while I'm wrapping some presents.
Yes, it's habitual.
Yeah, and it's not because it's alcohol. It's just because some of those tasks have just become kind of synonymous with, that particular tipple. I suppose it is another illustration of how embedded drink is with our lives.
Yeah, certainly around celebration periods. Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. But what we also touched on before I move on was we talked about the illustration of isolation, where I was having baked beans on toast on one Christmas day on my own. We also touched upon our Christmas trips to France that we used to do to get all our booze in.
I remember those.
We did quite a big section that year on the worry that I have about giving presents, and it's that part I want to expand upon really, because it only come up recently, but it was sort of beautifully illustrated, I reckon, in an episode of The Big Bang Theory.
Oh.
Now, I'm not sure. I don't. Do you ever watch that, or have you watched it?
Well, I've watched some of it, but I mean, there are a lot of episodes, aren't there? So I'll sort of start something, I get a bit tired of it, and I have to go away, and so certainly haven't seen the episode you're referring to.
No, but you know the basis of the program then, so we don't really need to go through that too much, apart from those people that don't know the Big Bang Theory.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Well, okay. In this particular episode, which is season 2, episode 11, if you fancy looking at it, if you want to look it up on Netflix.
Right.
But it's called the Bath Item Gift Hypothesis, because there are titles, don't they, to all of their episodes.
Yeah.
Which is when I looked at it, I thought, well, this is going to be quite an interesting one. But the situation that made me relate to and it made me laugh was, Penny, that lives across the hallway from Sheldon.
Yep.
She suddenly came across and bought Sheldon a Christmas present a few days before the event, and he wasn't expecting it. Yep. And you can imagine how horrified he was. And he said, "Look, the function of gift giving is reciprocity. You haven't given me a gift, you've given me an obligation." Which I thought, yes, he's absolutely right. And it's it's commercialised Christmas in a nutshell. But which I thought, it's a typical Sheldon thing to say. But he also went to say it's no wonder that suicide rates skyrocket at this time of year. Which, although he said it in sort of jest, he's spot on the money there, isn't he? And which backs up what we were saying, a couple of years ago in a Christmas episode.
Yeah. Well, any situation that puts you under kind of emotional pressure or stress is likely to increase the likelihood of you kind of feeling you want to find some way out. But I don't agree with the reciprocity point about gifts. I don't think that's true at all.
I know you wouldn't, but it fitted my narrative.
So I'm sure it's true that in some cases people are giving to receive. I'm sure that's true. But as is true of so much that we've spoken about on here, the joy that you get from giving a gift is at its strongest, at its most powerful, most potent, when you are not giving with an expectation of receiving. If you give someone a gift and actually the sole reason you're doing it is because you want to show your appreciation of that person, or you've seen something you think they might really enjoy, they might really get a kick out of, and you're gifting it to them, the buzz that you get from that is gift enough, I would argue. And I think when gift giving becomes transactional, I give you this because I know you're going to give me something back, then all of that magic is lost. So in this instance, Sheldon's a bit of a knobber.
No, you're completely missing the point. It's how it's the emotion of the recipient which I'm arguing for, not the giver. The giver may have his own issues or her issues that doesn't want reciprocity, but it's the person that receives it.
It's the same issue.
Hey,
it's the same issue.
Because once I receive a gift, then, or if someone receives a gift, then if you haven't got anything, especially at Christmas, you haven't got anything to give back to that person, you feel awful.
Yeah, but that's the same issue, because if someone gives you a gift and you don't have anything, it's unexpected, and you don't have anything for them, that's okay, because you can make the assumption that they gave you the gift because they wanted to give you a gift. My argument is there's no obligation. You are completely free. When I give you a gift at Christmas, you don't have to give me anything back. And if you feel obligated to do so, you don't need to. But
you do. I mean, there's no way around that. There's no way around of avoiding that issue.
Well, I don't think I agree with that.
Well, but again, it's a stressy thing. I mean, I was looking at this survey that said that. Well, they surveyed a lot of people, and I looked across several surveys, and they all seemed to come up with the same sort of thing. That at this time of year, around about 40% of people have increased stress levels. which can increase, which can sort of manifest itself in sort of physical illness or depression or anxiety. But one of the big ones that came up was substance abuse. Yeah, and again, that's been discussed over many times on our groups. As you can imagine, in the run up to Christmas, we have to try and keep each other quite close because it is a dangerous time of year, and especially as we talked about earlier on about the COVID restrictions, because we don't know what's happening yet on that either, do we?
No, we don't. But the thing is, I mean, that's this is one of the reasons why the commercialisation of Christmas is damaging. You know, and actually, if you can get back, whether you have a faith or not, if you can get back to something akin to the true meaning of Christmas, you know, if you think of Christmas as being, I don't know, even if you think of it broadly as being a time of showing love and forgiveness or whatever, then you're freed from some of those expectations, aren't you? Whereas if you think about it as a time of, you know, more commercial expectation, then you are going to feel those obligations.
Yeah. Well, in this survey, the reasons that were given, right, for the increase in stress levels that people feel, well, one of them was lack of time, which I suppose.
Oh, that's interesting.
It is an interesting one because obviously you have the whole year to sort that out. But I think not many people start their Christmas shopping until you've only got to look at how busy the town centres are in the last 2 weeks before Christmas. That people do tend to cram it in right near the end.
Your eldest daughter starts early.
She does, yeah. No, she has. Well, she starts in January.
Exactly.
She picks up bargains in the sales, and then she has them wrapped by the middle of the year. That's which is an extreme, but that's not typical of general society, is it?
Agreed. It's not.
So lack of time, yeah, which is, I suppose, it's our own construct, isn't it? It's how we can create the lack of time.
Yeah.
But most people seem to find that as a especially if they've got, you know, jobs that take them away from home or whatever. I can understand that. Financial pressures, which is another one came up, which I can understand.
Yeah.
Which is totally. Family gatherings tended to increase stress and anxiety, especially if you've got a bit of a fractured family or people you don't want to see.
Yeah.
But the last one that came up was gift giving, which again fits into what we were saying earlier on and what Sheldon was saying. So it is that gift giving. Now, it didn't go into any detail about the gift giving, but it is obviously an issue. Either perhaps people think that, you know, the gifts they're giving aren't good enough, which again that's always been one of my issues as well. But I think that also in that same survey that it said, you know, people that had pre-existing mental health issues, they're each one of those people that had them, about 65% of them to 70% of them said it increased over this time of year. So although it's a joyous occasion for a lot of people, we have to be aware that it's not everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah. If you look at those four things, time, finances, family gatherings and gift giving, okay, there's a pretty significant obligation for many people around family gatherings.
Yeah.
Get that. But actually the others are, they're things that become worse the more expectation we feel around Christmas. So we run out of time if we think, oh, I've got to do this and I've got to do that and that's got to be done. We run low on money if we think, well, I've got to buy this, I've got to buy that, I've got to buy something else. And, you know, the gift giving thing we've already agreed to disagree on.
Okay, you summed all that up. You brushed all that away now.
No, I brushed it away. I got a question from a client the other day about family gatherings, though. It was around, it was the kind of the gist of it was, I've got to spend Christmas with my family, and there's a family member that I don't get on with or who doesn't share my values. How do you suggest that I get through it? And obviously that's a very difficult one because, you know, for a lot of people, they are kind of forced together with people that they might not see eye to eye with, or they find it difficult to be around. But I think, and I know this might sound a little bit sort of simplistic, but, you know, if you accept an invitation to be with your family, then remember, for a start, you bear some responsibility. So, you know, it's no good saying, well, I can't stand this. If you've said, yes, okay, I'll come, you do have the opportunity. You can say, no, I'm not going to. You know, I'd rather spend time on my own or whatever. And I think, and then the other thing is, if you've got to be around people you don't want to be around, I think you just have to perhaps remind yourself that you're fortunate you don't have to be around them the rest of the year.
True. Yeah, it's another way of looking at it, isn't it? It is only a small period of time you've got to put aside for that.
That's certainly how I feel when you're around for Christmas dinner.
Yeah, I try and make me excuses and leave as soon as I'm around, to be honest.
I think to myself, at least on Boxing Day, you won't be here anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I tell myself.
Yeah, and it gets me through the day as well, so don't worry about that.
Sometimes I have to go into the garden and have a ginger wine, get me through.
Behind my back.
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to come back to the Big Bang Theory here.
All right.
Because it sort of winds up the gift giving scenario we've been talking about, because he deals with it in quite a very Sheldon's type of way, very organised sort of way. And I wouldn't recommend other people doing this, but it did make me laugh, because what he did, which again refers back to the title of the episode about the bath gifts, because what he did, he dealt with this, but he bought a number of, those bath gift sort of hampers you can get with various bits and pieces in them.
Yeah.
And he bought different sizes of those, which were different values. So I think he had about 5 or 6 of them, these different hampers. And what he decided to do, when he opened his gift from Penny, he'd go into his bedroom and scan the barcode to find out what the value of it was. And then he'd give her the hamper that was most closely matching the financial outlay that she'd made. Right?
Yeah,
which I thought, which is great. But what actually happened there, the unfortunate part was that sort of went out the window a little bit, because Penny, as you probably know, she worked as a waitress in a restaurant.
Yeah,
and she'd given this present to Sheldon, and inside it was a napkin that she'd got from the restaurant, which was signed by Leonard Nimoy, who had come into the restaurant.
Wow.
Okay, now obviously Sheldon's a massive Star Trek fan, and she gave him one to Leonard from Leonard Nimoy, and she'd wrapped it up and given it to him, and he was so overwhelmed by this. Especially as the fact that Leonard Nimoy had mopped his brow on it, so he had some of his DNA on it. So Sheldon said he was going to grow his own Leonard Nimoy off of the DNA. But he decided then that was a priceless gift. Okay, so he just gave her all the hampers. He said, "I can't match that. This is fantastic." So, but yeah. It'd be lovely, which, if every present you gave landed like that, as it did with Sheldon on that occasion. We can't hope for that, obviously, but I think it was it did make me laugh, and it just reminded me of the discussion we had a couple of years ago about presents.
Yeah, the problem with Sheldon is, of course, as you've highlighted, that he leads with his logic.
He does, yeah.
And gift giving is not a time for logic; it's a time for emotion.
Okay, yeah, well, that's fair enough.
He's not very good at dealing with emotions, is he? Bit like Mr. Spock.
Bit like exactly like Mr. Spock, yeah, which is why he's so he relates to him so well. But yeah, it made me laugh. But we're talking about gifts, because on although I haven't really made notes on the last year we did Christmas Confessions, which was quite funny to listen to. I've listened to. I was having a chuckle again to myself at some of the things that came up, but. There's one thing I think perhaps it passed me by at the time, but it made me laugh on this occasion listening to it. Was when you said, I think it was your great uncle Will or something gave you a present of some Rupert Bear tissues.
He did, yeah. I was about. It's not like I was like 4. I was probably about 13 or 14 at the time.
Which I'd forgotten how funny that was. So it was quite nice to go back and listen to that episode.
Yeah, I think that same year he gave me a mini Christmas pudding and a box of Rondellos, which were a biscuit.
Right, so it was nice. It was almost like a little hamper of its own, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a pretty left field hamper, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was. But in that episode, which relates back to what we're talking about, Christmas songs, you played out with a verse from Fairy Tale of New York.
Did I?
On your guitar, yeah.
Did I? I'd forgotten that. Yeah. Of course, you went into a bit of a rant on that song, didn't you, the other day?
I did rather, yes. It's not for airing, really, is it? I think some of the wording, if I remember rightly.
Well, you certainly used the F word quite extensively. But I think the gist of what you were saying was that it was it's been massively overplayed. But the interesting thing about Fairy Tale of New York is that even though it's been massively overplayed, I still enjoy hearing it.
It's one of those songs that is acceptable at Christmas time, certainly, even though it has been overplayed. With the other ones, you think, oh my God, just turn off the radio. But, I still listen to it because of the affection for the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl, really.
I mean, Good King Wenceslas has been overplayed, hasn't it? But I still like that one too.
Yeah, In the Deep Midwinter is more.
I like In the Deep Midwinter.
Yeah, that's probably my favourite Christmas carol. That had a bleak feel to it. Perhaps that's what that's.
Is it actually a Christmas carol? That one, I've got a feeling that was
just a hymn.
Well,
just a song.
Mate, yeah. Well, obviously it's Christmassy, but because I remember looking at that once and thinking I really loved that Christmas carol, and then finding out, much to my disappointment, that it wasn't one. But I'm probably wrong about that. I might be thinking about something else. In the Bleak Midwinter is a song. Oh, it's a poem, actually.
Oh, right, okay. Put to music.
It's a poem by Christina Rossetti.
Okay.
Which is commonly performed as a Christmas carol. There we are. That's what I was thinking of, yeah.
Oh, we've cleared that up one. It doesn't say when Christine Rossetti wrote it.
I can tell you when it was published in January 1872, if that's any good for you.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. So it was 150 years ago then.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we still like it now.
Well,
so there we go.
You and me do.
Well, yeah, I think most people like that one, wouldn't they?
That's in the overlap of our Venn diagram, musical tastes.
of Christmas songs, yeah.
Yeah.
That sort of rounds it up, really. I mean, my gratitude list, the thing I've got on my gratitude list, works in with the Christmas present scenario as well.
Okay, well, you go first then. Because funnily enough, I've got something on my gratitude list that fits in with something you said earlier. Okay,
well, mine is I'm very grateful when you buy wrapping paper that's got a grid printed on the inside.
That is so you. That is unbelievable.
Well, doesn't everyone? I mean, it's just great because you can work out exactly in the middle. I count all the squares and put the present in the middle and get it just about right. And it's so much neater and easier.
You're frightening me now.
But the thing is, it's quite rare that they advertise when you look at because it's all rolled up when you buy it, isn't it? And you look on the label, and it's very rare does it say there that it's got a grid printed on the inside. But it's a nice surprise. You open it up and think, yes, you've bothered to pay a bit more money than perhaps you would have done normally, and there it is. It's magical.
Is it a nice surprise like in the old days where you bought an album and you realised it was a gatefold and it had the lyrics on the
lyric? Oh, wasn't that as beautiful? Or indeed a separate insert that you could pull out had all the lyrics on.
Yeah.
No, it's exactly like that. It's like a present of its own. The gift. It's a gift wrap that keeps on giving.
Or the Queen album Jazz, which contained inside it a poster of lots of naked women on bicycles.
Oh yeah. That was a nice surprise.
I put it on the door of one of the nurses that my sister was working with at the time. His name was Chris May, and he was a very devout evangelical Christian, and he took exception to it.
Did he?
Yeah.
was that as part of the devilment that it made you put it up there? Was it?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, I was young and wild, and so I don't think he really appreciated me putting a picture of naked women on his door.
No, it would have gone against his.
He didn't think Jesus would approve
his Christian beliefs. Exactly. Jesus probably wouldn't have approved. No, I'm sure he wouldn't.
No, well, I apologised for it. Actually, I don't think I did apologise for it. But if he's listening, Chris, I'm sorry. So, yeah, only you could have a grid on your wrapping paper on your gratitude list. I mean, would you consider going into WH Smith's and asking to have a look at the inside of the roll of wrapping paper just to check?
No, well, you can't really, because you have to take the cellophane wrap off of it, wouldn't you?
But, no, I know, but you'd probably stop at nothing to get a grid on your wrapping paper, wouldn't you?
Well, I do try and look in. You can try and look in the end of it, but it's never very easy. Not very straightforward science. But I think that you could ask, but they wouldn't know, would they? No one knows.
You could draw one on with a ruler and pencil once you got it home.
Well, I do measure up. Yeah, I do use my own system in the end. Yeah.
God.
So anyway, again, talking about Christmas songs, when I did a Spotify search.
Hang on, I haven't done my gratitude yet.
Oh no, you haven't, have you? Sorry, mate. No, I I was racing on with my notes. I didn't, I'd forgotten it.
Peace and goodwill to all men. Thank you very much.
Well, I'd forgotten that you were involved in this episode, but yeah, crack on.
Well, you said earlier you were reading some survey, and one of the things that people said they didn't, that caused them stress at Christmas was a lack of time.
Yeah.
And on my gratitude list this week is the fact that I have had time to potter around. I've taken a little bit of time off work. I've had time to potter around, do all those little things that I like to do at Christmas. I like to spend a fair amount of my time in the kitchen, and that's what I've been doing. I've been pottering around, making mince pies and putting the tree up and stuff, all the sort of things that, miserable gits like you don't bother doing. And so I feel very grateful that I have the opportunity to take a bit of time and have a bit of a rest and enjoy the preamble.
To do it properly. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it is down to organisation, isn't it? The lack of time, which I thought was...
Yeah. Some of us waste it by measuring out our wrapping paper. Others make mince pies.
We'll have our little foibles. We'll get our enjoyments from different places.
True.
But anyway, so this Spotify search was not a waste of time, really. But Christmas songs on there. They're all, again, we've already discussed how boring they are and how much we don't like them because they become overplayed. So what I did, instead of putting Christmas in there or whatever, I put in gift or gifts instead to see what came up. Now there's a couple that came up that I thought, oh, Graham would love these to go on there, so I'm definitely not putting them on them. But the first one was The Gift of Faith by Toto, which I thought is probably right up your street. That's definitely not up mine.
I don't know that song, but I expect I'd appreciate the musicianship on it.
It's awful. Have a listen. It is awful. And then there's one called The Gift of Love by Yes, which was. I thought I started to listen to that and got about 10 seconds into it and thought, my God, this is awful. So off that came. There's one called The Greatest Gift by Robert Plant that I didn't know, which was not particularly good, but at least it's Robert Plant,
Mm. Yeah, you can't criticise Robert Plant.
No, you can't.
He virtually looks like God these days.
He does, and I wouldn't dare to put a question mark against his musical ability in any way.
No.
But the one I've sort of shoehorned this one in, but because it reminds me of my children, really.
Okay.
Which is it's the track by Bob and Marcia called "Young, Gifted and Black." So I've stretched a little bit there. Yeah. But it's a lovely tune. It just reminds me. Certainly, when the kids were very young. My oldest daughter, Emily, used to ask for me to put that on. But she used to call it Giffington Black. That's what she used to call it.
I can remember.
And so when that came, I thought, I'm going to put that on. I'm a little bit self-indulgent.
I can remember. I did wonder how you were going to get around the Christmas song problem, and that's what you've done. You've completely sidestepped Christmas. You've cancelled Christmas, haven't you, basically, on the Spotify playlist?
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
And I'm all right with that.
Well, okay, if that's the way you want to live your life, that's up to you.
Thank you.
But don't expect Santa Claus to be visiting you.
No,
you've got a chimney anyway, have you?
No, I haven't got a chimney, no. So he won't be coming in. What's this elf on the shelf business that seems to be a lot of people putting it on the WhatsApp group. Do you know all about that?
No, what's that?
I don't know. They put elves. They got these little toy elves that they put doing strange things for when the kids get up in the morning. The elves have been doing things overnight. But I don't really understand it all.
No, I don't know anything about that.
The only thing I've
got on the shelf is some flour, some sugar, and probably some pulses.
No elves.
Books. Yeah, no elves. No.
Good. Well, that's me about done, mate.
Well, it only leaves us to wish all of our listeners a very happy, peaceful Christmas wherever they are. And
I agree.
A similarly peaceful New Year.
And a safe one. Stay safe, my friends.
Stay safe. Yeah. All right.
Good. Okay, mate.
See you later.
Good work.
Toodle pip.
Bye.
Bye. Sideways was created by Graham Landy and Martin Pankhurst. If you want to read more about our work or sort through the extensive archive of past episodes, just visit grahamlandywellbeing.co.uk/sideways-podcast. You can follow us on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram at Sideways Podcast, and you can email us if you have a question or if there's something you'd like us to cover. But most of all, We want to tell you how grateful we are that you come and listen. And we ask that if you've enjoyed what you've heard, that you spread the word. And we'll see you next week.